believe what
Mm-hmm.
what the headline is saying.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what practically groups like the action groups can do to
Okay.
keep on informing the general public
Public, yeah.
uh, in terms of what is happening.
Okay.
And the schools as well are very, very important, especially the varsities. There's loads of movement in these schools.
Mm-hmm.
And there will be a small group of people that are interested
Yeah.
in these issues. And yet there are so many students that are doing studies on law, on immigration law, and all that. And
Okay.
they need to get involved. We
Yeah.
need to get them involved there, because now what we see is that they will choose a subject. For instance,
Mm-hmm.
a student will choose a subject, and they want to write about direct provision
Yeah.
or for their marks.
That
But we
thesis,
need
yeah.
to get them involved in
Yes,
terms
absolutely.
of the actual work that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's what the groups can
Okay.
do on a practical kind of the things that they can do.
Okay.
You
And
know.
on that as well, I mean, that's kind of towards the public and towards the government. On the other side of it, then, on the flip side of it, then, groups like this, what can they do practically in order to support people in direct provision, as in, volunteering advice, legal advice to get people more
Yeah.
into the justice quicker,
Okay.
to have more, that kind of stuff, or even, support for people in direct provision who want to start up their own companies or who want to do all those kind of things. I mean, what practical, you often hear stories, and I know from the members that we have from direct vision in the group would say, like, people come in with the greatest of intentions, and they will do different classes, and it's done with a very decent and caring mind, but it might not be necessarily what the people in that center need or want at that time. So people might not engage much, or people are just not that interested. And it's not that they don't care, it's just if someone is in that mindset where they're trying to just survive, and somebody comes in
Okay.
to do, simple things, what can we do that's practical that would actually be useful?
Let me tell you the worst thing that you could do. The worst thing that you could do is to form allegiance with the management of the centers.
Okay.
That is the worst thing that you could do.
Mm-hmm.
Because the center managers or the center staff,
Mm-hmm.
they are there for their pay.
Yeah.
They are not interested in caring for the people.
Okay.
So whenever you engage with people from direct provision, you got to engage with them directly.
Mm-hmm.
I've been saying this for many, many years, in front of those management as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you start, these managers, when they see something, they want to take the praise unnecessarily for not doing anything at all.
Absolutely, yeah.
When you look into what the group is and what the group wants, you need to go to the life path of an asylum seeker, a new person that comes in the country.
Mm-hmm.
What are the challenges that person face
Mm-hmm.
when it comes in the country?
Mm-hmm.
And we need to, like, for instance, as soon as people come in the country. I was talking about this in our Zoom meeting on Tuesday, that the cases for asylum are messed up in the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay? They are messed up in the beginning because of people that come in the country, they don't know what's going on. They're given a form, they complete the form, boom, they send it.
Yeah.
They don't even know that they are entitled to have a solicitor, nor apply for the solicitor.
Mm-hmm.
So the most in need in direct provision for a new person
Mm-hmm.
is to make sure that the processes
Mm-hmm.
are there
Mm-hmm.
to help the person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you come in the country, this is what will happen.
Yeah.
And these are the numbers that you need to call.
Mm-hmm.
This is the office or the office that you need to register for a solicitor.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the issues that before you submit your application.
Mm-hmm. Do you think though that, realistically speaking, it's a doable thing to put together a type of I don't know, I suppose, I mean, welcome pack sounds airy fairy, but you know what I mean? Like to put together a leaflet or a flyer that has all that kind of information on it that would be given to people at the point of entry. I mean, is that something that's actually doable with the likes of who we have in charge here? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's how do we go about that? I mean, online platforms, what about an app? You know, there's so many different avenues that we can use, but how do you go about
I
putting that in
know.
place that it actually is going to be handed to somebody, or somebody that comes into the country can be told, listen, there's an app you can download, all the information you need for asylum is there, you know.
I know that an asylum seeker in Cork, Assad, he did create about 2 years ago. He did create an app
Okay.
with all the necessary links that people
Mm-hmm.
can, get to, with all the groups as well
Yeah.
that they could go get to. All right, what was it called there? So that kind of resource is very, very important
Mm-hmm.
for more than a leaflet or a booklet, because we were talking about that as well, actually, to find a way to have a welcome pack, okay, and to use the people that are already experienced in direct provision
Mm-hmm.
for the new people that will come in the country or in the center that they are in,
Yeah.
because there are dynamics in each center.
Mm-hmm.
If you are living in one center in Mayo, for instance, when you come to Mosby, it's a different
It's a
setup.
whole different setup.
So
Yeah.
the social services is different,
Mm-hmm.
and also that's another thing. What are their rights with you working now with pandemic? You see, pandemic has come up with PUP, and what people people at that, they didn't know that sometimes they didn't know that they were entitled to that PUP. It was not open to asylum seekers until it was open again, you
Yeah.
know. So all those things, it's a continuous kind of. I know this is huge and it will be demanding, but it's a small little thing that people can do. You can start with small things that are within the resources that the group have,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't have to really think about big things. You can think about the small little things. How do we welcome a person? How do we make ourselves known that this is the service that we can provide,
Yeah.
more than the normal, established NGOs that people would know,
Yeah.
okay, of which they're trying to do what they can do, but
Mm-hmm.
their resources as well are stretched
Yeah.
in terms of
I
reaching
think as well,
everybody.
though, sometimes the grassroots groups like Massey and like ourselves and many other groups that are working on the ground, kind of grassroots, I think they sometimes have a bit more of an impact or an inside impact because of they're working on the ground. So sometimes the larger NGOs are great for a more governmental approach, I suppose, or getting a
Yeah,
bit of sway or a bit of push in that
yeah,
side of things. But on the ground, working with direct provision centres or the people themselves, these grassroots groups in general,
very,
I think are
very
really
powerful.
important.
That's right. It's very, very important, really. And the existence of Mercy, for instance, in the past years, has been a revelation to many groups, to many people, even to the NGOs, even
Absolutely, yeah,
to the NGO. They might not admit that,
yeah. Mm-hmm,
but it has been a revelation
mm-hmm.
that we could we could reach out to people that they could not reach out to,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
They could even direct people to us that they could not, you know. So it's important that to remain on the as grassroots at grassroots level, because that's where things are happening, and it's important then that the information is there,
okay.
you know.
Okay. Well, listen, we don't want to take up your entire evening because we know you're probably one of the busiest men in Ireland, because you work full time and then nearly pretty much every day and every evening, I know you're taking on people and listening to problems and trying to help people solve them. So thank you so much for being a fantastic inspiration to those in direct vision, and then those like us who are trying to do our part in making some sort of change and some sort of difference. We wouldn't be able to do it without people like you giving us, the knowledge and the understanding of how to do that. So we wish you well, and we look forward to collaborating and seeing you on the picket lines, as it were. And what we can do is march on. And yeah, this white paper is coming out this month. It'll be, I'm sure we will be talking very soon and complaining.
Yeah. No, thank you for having us there, and we can only do what we can do.
Absolutely.
And it's very important that we keep unity, we keep collaborating,
Yeah.
and we keep working together. No one has got the solutions on their own. The solutions all together, when we put it together, will be more powerful.
Yeah.
So I will encourage the group members as well to stay strong, to stay focused. Don't lose hope. Don't lose, your mind when there are heated debates in the group. Stay focused on the person that is suffering.
Yeah.
In direct provision.
Okay.
Don't forget that.
No.
And support what the deportations as well. Please, let's support that.
Yeah.
And be vocal. Be vocal. Let's not be scared to address the minister. Let's not be scared to address those that are responsible.
Yes, absolutely.
For keeping us there.
Okay, well, we'll talk soon. Thank you so much, Lucky.
All right then.